people are not going to want to give credit card numbers for $1. You know, they're just not going to want to do that. And this also eliminated the need for a login feature because you're not going to need to keep track of the freebie count because it's all going to be free anyways. Here's an example of a page in my site. The cryobiology, as you can see, the logo's at the top. We decided to use the green and the navy blue because they wanted to target this to the feminine audience because they figured that those are the people that are most be accessing the site. They wanted to make it clear and easy. As you can see, this is the donor catalog page, and to get here, you'd either click the donor catalog along the left side or at the top. This is the only link that's 2 places. The reason why we decided to put it 2 places was because it's such an important part of the site, and we wanted to make sure it was easy to find. When you get to the donor catalog page, you have 2 options. You can either, if you've already been here, you already know the donors, you already have one picked out, you can simply enter in their donor ID number here and click Get Listing, and you're automatically taken to their short donor profile. But as many of them want to search it, and they don't know, we have drop-down menus at the bottom here that allows you to pick things like hair color, eye color, height, blood type, whatever you might be looking for in a donor. You can click on a search criteria and then click search, and then it takes you to a list of search results for that donor. As you can see, that the donor IDs are then brought back, and they're returned as hyperlinks. And the reason why we did that is we thought we want to get people to get to these donor IDs with the least amount of clicks possible. We don't want to send them in endless loops. We don't want to get them confused. So this is a clear way of saying, okay, here's ones that match your criteria. If you want to find more, click on here. So for example, if we click on this donor, we're taken to their donor profile. This is just an example of the part of it. This is like the family health history. It just briefly goes over what could possibly be in their family health history for a particular donor. And the way I set up the database for this, I thought the easiest way to make them yes/no fields. That way, cryobiology can easily go in and enter a donor and check a box if that applies to them. And that would be very easy for them to use. And that's also easy for the database to search. If it finds a yes, it puts an X next to whatever it finds a yes in. And anything that's marked an X is commented down at the bottom. I don't have that shown, but it also explains what the other could be. And it also explains, like heart disease, it'll explain, you know, who had it, did they die from it, you know, was it family line? So that better helps people to understand. Here's some of the code that I used to write this search option. As you can see, it's simple SQL code. You just simply, you go through the table, see if it's selected, and if it is, it puts an X. Lessons learned. The huge lesson I learned is communication is key. Like Shalene's already said, communication can either make or break you. I mean, if you can't communicate, you're in big trouble. But definitely, I've learned a heck of a lot. The company is based in Columbus, so obviously I didn't go to work there every day. I had to communicate over the telephone, and obviously the people on the other end, they weren't really technologically oriented. When I even asked them what kind of a connection they had, if they had dial-up, or they didn't even know. So that kind of gives you an idea of, you know, where they were technology-wise. So it was extremely difficult to get information from them, and I think it's very important for everyone to learn that you can know everything there is to know about MIS. You can have all the book knowledge that is out there, but if you cannot communicate that to people that don't understand what the heck you're talking about, you may as well not know anything, because those are the people that are going to be using it every single day. Those are the people that have to know what you're talking about. And if they don't know what they're talking about, they're not going to even think about it. You know, they're just going to think whatever, and they're not going to understand, and you're never going to get anywhere. Some future opportunities I've gotten from this project. Cryobiology has asked me to stay on as their webmaster. They really like the site, and I'm going to be working for them for the next year at least. We have chosen an ISP. We've made a local ISP selection. We thought that was important for them because, you know, they want somebody that they can consult. It's going to be local. It's going to be on the same time frame as them. They're going to be able to better help them. They're giving them more email addresses because obviously with the website they're going to need more. I suggest training for them to get email correspondence especially because that's extremely important for them. Proposals for future web development. I suggest an interactive site for prospective donors. We've touched on the donor recipients. Now I think touching on the donors would be important. You know, trying to teach them what are the steps to be a donor, what's involved, you know, what you need to know. Another thing they have asked me to do is they wanted another site for another part of their services. They have blood and cord banking, and it's called Reproductive Technology Diagnostics. And it's a different branch of their company. It's also located in Pittsburgh, and they wanted an interactive site that kind of goes together for that. And I've also suggested to make an index page possibly for both companies that could send them in those two directions, because I think that that's important that people know that they're under one kind of name, but they have two branches of their company. And another thing I'm suggesting is an ASP form that would allow someone to sign up for a quarterly newsletter, because they currently send out information quarterly to anybody that's used their services or requested information. And I think making this available online would get broaden their customer base, get more information out there, and make it easier for people to learn more about them. Okay, any questions?